Hello and welcome to another Cuppa with Kaci. Today is a fun video. We're just going to be sitting here sketching together and I'm going to answer a few questions that I have gotten from you guys over on Instagram, which I will get up now and we'll get to it. Okay, so I don't really have a plan for where my drawing's going this week. I'm literally just going to be having a sketch and filling up the spread. I'm going to turn my book at a funny angle. No, I shouldn't, because then it's going to look funny on the camera. And let's see how we do whilst I answer these questions. So, first question is, what got you into drawing? Wow, that's an interesting question. I don't really have a very inspiring answer for it, I'm afraid. I have been drawing since before I can remember. I've always just loved it. I remember being, I don't know, 10 or 11 and drawing foxes I think was my favourite thing to draw at the time, which is kind of funny since now I use Sad Fox as my mascot a lot, so there you go, full circle. But yeah, I used to draw foxes a lot and lions and things. I always wanted to work for Disney, I think was my dream as a kid. I was like, oh, if I learn how to draw the lions like they do in Lion King, I can work for Disney and make cool movies and stuff. And that's sort of, so maybe that's what got me into drawing. I don't know, I just always loved it. And it's something that has stayed with me, I guess, because people used to always tell me that I was good at it, so I used to keep doing it because I liked getting praised, I guess. When I was a kid, it would be drawing pictures for my mum or drawing pictures for my friends, drawing everyone's birthday cards, entering contests that I had to draw a poster. I remember when I was little, I don't know how old I was, but there was a contest at the local pet store to draw a poster for the pet shop, and I entered and won, and I got the choice of a book on cats or a book on dogs, and I picked the book on dogs, which is funny because I'm more of a cat person. I mean, I love dogs and I love cats, but I don't know, I just, you know, maybe it depends on the dog. I love them both equally, but it depends on the dog. Like, I actually just lost my dog of 8 years last week. He had to get put down, which was very sad and is still very sad, and I'm still coming to terms with it. Yeah. But I also have 2 cats, Vegemite and Honeybee, and I love them to pieces. So there's that. I don't know, what was that question? What got me into drawing? Yeah, so I just used to always draw when I was a kid. Next question. What's a drawing you are really proud of? You know what? I think I saw this and I put in my head to get the drawing out so I could show you on camera. And I've completely forgot to do that. I don't even know if I still have it. I like quite a lot of my drawing. This is me with new hair. Okay. I didn't even realize what I was drawing. I've given myself the hair of my OC from My Hero Academia. Oh well. It can be me with Sachiko's hair. Yeah, I mean, I have quite a few artworks that I really like of my own. I mean, I say I really like. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of my art when I finish it. If I sit there staring at it for a while, that generally means that I like it. I'm trying to find something wrong with it so I don't like it anymore, if you know what I mean. So I'm constantly looking for flaws in my work so I can better myself or whatever, I guess. But recently, art that I really like, I mean, I'm quite happy with this one. I was happy with how that one turned out despite messing up the line art. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of art lately that I actually am really happy with how it turned out at the end. Yeah, just haven't. I try to think. What's a piece of artwork? You know what? If I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen. But it's something I did a couple years ago of just me with wings on a night sky, and I was really happy with how that looks. So we'll go with that one. I'm really proud of that one. Okay, next question. What's your fave media to work with and why? Ooh. You know what? I want to say watercolor because I love painting, but it's probably going to be Copics. Sorry, I always say that wrong. It's probably Copics. Because I've used them more than anything, I guess, and I just love how the piece comes out when I'm finished. And yeah, I also really like digital. I haven't done digital art in a long time though, so probably can't say that. I got really into digital art for a long time, as you could probably tell from my really old art videos on here. They're all digital art. And I really like how I like them all for different reasons. Let's go with that. But it's probably got to be Copics, just because I use them more than anything else, and I'm almost always happy with the result when I use my Copics, as opposed to when I use watercolor, I make more mistakes, I guess, is probably the way. It's like I can mess it up easier with watercolor than I do with Copics, because I just know how they work so much better than watercolor. But I do really love using watercolor. Where do you get most of your inspiration from? That's a tricky one. Probably my own life experiences. I draw a lot of what I call vent art because I have depression and anxiety, and I use my artwork to release pent-up emotions because I'm not very good at talking about things. So I use my art to sort of vent, I guess is a good term for it. And yeah, so I guess my own experiences, a lot of my work comes back to if I was feeling sad that day, I've probably drawn a bunch of people crying or something to get it out. But also sometimes, a song will inspire me. I'll be listening to this music and this particular song I'll be like, it's giving me a really good idea to draw. I wish I drew more fan art. I used to draw fan art a lot when I was younger, but not so much anymore. I wish I did, just because I find it really fun to join the community and share my love of specific fandoms with people through my art. But I just don't, I don't know, I'm never really happy with how the characters look when I draw them, so I don't think other people will be happy with, I want to draw more My Hero Academia stuff, but I swear the amount of times I try to draw Midoriya and it just does not look right, and it bugs me so much. I'm like, why would no one want to see this art, because it doesn't look like him. Yeah, that's there's that. So yeah, mostly I draw myself or OCs with whatever I'm feeling that day. So personal experience is usually my inspiration, but sometimes other things will inspire me, like songs or movies or books even. I read a lot, so there's that. Do you do anything while you draw? Usually listen to very loud music and sing to my heart's content when I draw, because I love to sing. I actually studied music performance vocals in university when I was in the UK, so singing is one of my passions. And I just, yeah, I remember being a teenager and going to my BBBFFF's house, and we would have music on. I started with like Pink and Disney music, and then when we got into our emo phase, it went to like My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco. But we'd have music on and we'd just lie on his bedroom floor, and yeah, we would just draw, and it would usually be Sonic characters that we'd made up, so Sonic OCs, and then Shaman King OCs and Naruto OCs. And that's when Kaci, my character, and the name Kaci came about, was during Naruto OCs with Ruben in their room listening to My Chemical Romance. So yeah, listening to music is definitely something I do when I draw. Sometimes if I can't think of what music I want to listen to, I will put on YouTube and I'll just have other artists' videos playing because they're really inspiring. That comes back to the what inspires you question. Drawing with Waffles, her videos, almost every time I watch them I'm like, oh, I want to draw. So that's another inspiration for me. Yeah, so there's that too. So I'll listen or watch other people's YouTube videos, even if it's not necessarily an artist and it's just another YouTuber's video. I think I watch James Turner play The Sims quite a lot, and Deligracy as well. I'll link all these people below. I watch them play The Sims because I love The Sims. What's the next question? Do you ever find something harder to draw than others? For example, girls easier. Yeah, as you can see, I mostly draw girls. I put that down to the fact that I am a girl and I know how girls' bodies work. I know comfortable ways to stand. I know how the curves flow and stuff. And I find guys particularly difficult because I'm not a guy and they're just so boxy. And I find it hard to draw them without making them look too feminine. I'll draw one now just to prove that point. But yeah, I find guys harder to draw, but I can still draw them. But most thing I find difficult to draw is animals. I find animals really hard to draw, which is hilarious since I actually started art by drawing animals instead of people. I used to hate drawing people. But yeah, I find animals really hard to draw. Sometimes I make a point to go on Pinterest and pick a specific animal and just do a whole spread of just drawing that one animal from photo reference, and that really helps me. And I do have a lot of fun with that. I think I have some, yep. I did some drawings yesterday to help my fiance with some tattoo design, so we got some lions and some badgers. I wonder what what that's for. You could probably guess if you are a Harry Potter fan at all. So yeah, so animals definitely I find harder to draw, but when it comes to guys and girls, I find men more difficult to draw because they're just so boxy, and I don't know, I just want to make them curvier. I guess yeah. And I don't know how what do guys do with their hands when they stand? They like, is it put them in their pockets? They don't really put their hands on their hips like girls do. So I never really know how to make a guy pose to make it look sort of masculine more than just, you know, putting the hand in my pocket now, which just makes it look like I'm too lazy to draw the hands. It really is just I have no idea how to make a guy pose, which comes down to using reference. Go on Pinterest, find some handy references to use for your poses. And I like this book, but in these starting pages it's really hard to get it to lie flat. So if you want a book that lies flat really well, this one will when I get to the middle. But at the moment there's just so many pages that there's no way this is lying flat. Just creasing. But yeah, so guys, because I find them really hard to pose and they're so boxy. What's the next question? What's your fave colour to shade with and why? That's a good question. Probably, I usually, if I'm doing digital art, I will use a purple grey colour set to multiply, and I will shade with that. And I will shade the whole picture with that, and it works lovely. And same with Copics. I mean, depending on how lazy I'm feeling, if I'm feeling particularly lazy, I will do the same thing. I will get my go-to purple grey shade and shade the whole thing with that. But I usually, with Copics, like to pick darker tones of the same colour to shade with, because I think it looks really nice. I used to do that with digital art as well, but I've gotten really lazy with it, and also find it really hard to use Procreate, and I haven't got my paint tool set up in a very long time, which makes me sad. But my gosh, how do you draw guys' faces? Yeah, so purple grey is my go-to unless I am just using darker shades of the same colour or values or whatever the term is. Okay, next question. Ooh. Next question. How many times in a week do you normally like to draw or make time to draw? I try my very darndest to draw every day. Even if it's just some tiny little sketch. As long as I've drawn one thing a day, I am usually happy, but obviously that doesn't always happen. I have tomorrow she will be 7 months old daughter, and a stepson who's here week on, week off, so he's actually with his mum this week, but he'll be back next week. And why does everyone get such a Chris hairstyle today? We don't want such a Chris haircut. This is a guy, he doesn't want that hair. Yeah, so I try and draw every day, but sometimes things get in the way. I should be doing dishes right now, but I need to record this video, so that's what I'm doing. I have no idea what haircut this guy's got. Is it like a side swept spiky mess with the shaved sides? There we go. Side swept spiky mess with shaved sides. This is guy, side swept guy. Is he like a Sonic character, humanized or something? I don't know. Could be. Could be. I am winging this completely. What was that question? Yeah, every day if I can. Otherwise, I just draw as often as I can. Sometimes I go whole weeks without drawing just because I'm either not in the mood or something came up, or I've been doing things and just no time. Yeah, but every day if I can. If it was plausible. Okay, next question. Do you ever miss your old art style? I don't remember my old art style, so no. I look back at old art and all I really see as opposed to art style is how much I've improved from then in like anatomy and color theory and stuff. So I'll say no. I do miss drawing for fun. I find a lot of the time lately I feel like I'm drawing to try and please somebody, to make people, to draw things that people are going to want to look at, as opposed to drawing just what I want to draw. So I miss that about art, that's for sure. Do you ever find your artwork reflects your mood? I think I've already been over this one. Yes, I draw a lot of event art. It is pretty much what keeps me sane, especially in times like now. In fact, I even had a nice little sad page the other day and drawing of my Barnaby, who I miss very much. That's my vent art, and I do it a lot. And yeah, next question. You have lots of tattoos. Which one is your favorite, and which one was the most painful? Ooh, okay. This is hard because I do have a lot of tattoos, and I like a lot of them for different reasons. All my tattoos have meaning behind them, which isn't necessary when you get tattoos. I don't think you have to have meaning behind them, but personally mine do, because I feel if I don't have a meaning behind it, later on I'm going to regret it because it has no sentimental value to me. And I'll be like, oh, I could have got something else there or something. I'm running out of body space, that's all I'm saying. Which one's my favourite though? I really like my underbust tattoo, which if I can get a picture that's PG enough, I will put up on the screen. It's like a lacy sort of upside down triangle with a ruby heart in the middle with some danglies and stuff. And my fiance did that for me, and it took 3 sessions. The first session was like 3 hours long. Second session was like 2 hours, and third session was like 2 hours. So we did line art, then we did shading, then we did color, and that was painful. That was not a pleasant tattoo in the slightest. That's the only tattoo I've cried after, which I'm willing to admit, only because I didn't cry the whole time, and then at the end he put some like spray on that had like sea salt in, so it made it sting, and my resolve was gone. I like burst into tears because it was like, ow, 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 I can't handle this. It's the only tattoo I've cried from. And it's all his fault. It would have been fine if he hadn't done that, so blame's on you, Craig. So that one was really painful, just because, you know, it's on your ribs, it's around your on your chest sort of area, and every time you breathe in, it pushes the needle in deeper because he's drawing at the time, and like you breathe in and you go and it pushes it in, and that's not fun. And I'm sure it's not fun to tattoo there either. I gotta admit, that must be really difficult to tattoo with people breathing. Like, just stop breathing, would you? And then, but my most painful, I've got a tattoo on my thigh, which is watercolor roses, and I got that done in the UK when I was over there living with my ex. Let's not go into that story, but I got 2 big watercolor roses on my thigh. There's no line works or color, and that wrecked me. That was 3 hours of agonizing pain. I hate getting my legs tattooed, which is a shame because I want my legs tattooed, but I hate it so much. It hurts so bad, and I could not walk afterwards. And yep, that's that tattoo. That was my most painful by far. Okay, next question. What's your favorite Pokemon and why? Ooh, this is hard because I love Pokemon. I have always loved Pokemon. I'm just going to stick to this page, I think, today. We're running out of time. Yeah, I have always loved Pokemon, and it's really hard to pick a favorite. I have a few favorites. So Eevee is my go-to favorite whenever anyone asks me that, because I just love Eevee. I always have. But I feel like everyone's like, oh, that's such a cliche answer. Oh. But I do. I just love Eevee, and anytime I play Pokemon or there's a new game or anything, I will get an Eevee and I will breed it and get lots more Eevees and then get every single evolution of Eevee just to make sure I have them all. Because I'm extra like that. I love the Eevees and the evolutions, and one day I think I will get tattoos of all of them. But other than Eevee, I really like Noibat, which, you know, some of you who are like first generation only, woo, will be like, I hate you now. But I do. I really love Noibat and Noivern. Once when I was in the UK, I did a an art convention in London. So it was also an anime convention, but I think it was London Film and Comic Con, yeah. And there was this girl there who made life-size Pokemon plushies, and she'd made a Sylveon and a Noibat, and they were life-size, and oh my gosh, I wanted to buy them so bad. I would have given all the money I made at that convention to have those, because Sylveon is my favorite evolution as well, so don't hate me on that if you are a OG Pokemon only fan. Sylveon is my favorite. I thought I'd hate it when I first saw it, but then I used it in my team because like I have to as an evolution. I thought I'd hate it because I thought it looked stupid with all the bows and stuff, but I used it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's OP. He's so strong. And I like wrecked the Elite Four with the Sylveon, and I was like, okay, I love you now. Yeah, so anyway, so this chick had made these life-size plushies, and it was amazing, but they were commissions and they were getting picked up at the cons. I couldn't buy them, and I was just like, no, I really want them. I would give my life to, well, I mean, maybe not my life, but I would give my Cintiq, my Wacom Cintiq, to have those. That will go with that, or my entire Cuppa collection. I have no idea what's going. What this, I feel like, yeah, this is a bit anatomically incorrect. Let's just shrug, make it a shrug. Hey, shrug. There we go. Now it makes sense that you haven't got a neck. Where was, that was the last question. I think I had one or two on Facebook. Let me go check. To Facebook. Doodly-doodly-doo. Notifications, nope. How do you do this? I don't use Facebook very often, so I have no idea what's going on. Okay, yeah. There's one question on here. Okay, what was your first pet's name? Ooh, that's a hard one. I've had lots of pets in my life, so it depends on whether you say my first pet, like the first one I got myself or was gotten for me, or just the first pet that I ever had when I was little. I don't actually remember that. We've had so many pets. I think my mum always talks about a cat we had named Teddy when I was a baby. So a cat named Teddy, if we're going with that. But first pet I can remember having is, the first pet that wasn't necessarily my pet that I remember having is a cat named Whisper. And she was a ragdoll, and she was beautiful. She was white and fluffy with great paws and tail and stuff. And she got bitten by a snake or something. We don't actually know what happened to her, but she passed away. It was really sad. And her, so there's that. But then first pet I had myself would probably be a mouse named Harley. So there's this little mouse in brown. He had lots of different shades of brown and white patches on him, and I kept seeing him at the pet shop, and all the other mice in the cage were picking on him, so I had like little cuts and scratches all over him. It made me really sad. And I loved this little mouse, and I wanted him, but I wasn't allowed to have him because we had a cat, and my mum was like, the cat will eat it when we're not having a mouse. And then it was really close to my birthday, and on my birthday my mum was like, oh, come on, we'll go to the pet shop and we'll let you pick out a mouse, because I really wanted a mouse. I don't know why I really wanted a mouse, I just did. I think it's really, I say it's really cruel, it's relatively cruel. It comes down to the fact my brother had a pet snake, and they were like, oh, we can get free food for the snake if we breed the mice. And yeah, it was, I hated it, and I was very upset with my parents for that. But yeah, so we went to the pet shop, and Harley the little mouse was gone, and I was so upset, and I picked another mouse because I still wanted a mouse, but the one that I wanted to get Harley and protect him from all the other mices that were picking on him. And I was like upset, but I was also like, oh, it probably means that someone's bought him, which means he's not getting picked on anymore, so that's okay. And then we got home and I had this little black mouse and her name was Pepper, and she was cute and she was soft and fluffy and I loved her. But we got home and my dad had been to the pet shop and bought Harley, so I actually ended up with 2 mice. So I had a black mouse named Pepper and a brown and white mouse named Harley, and they were super cute. And turns out Harley was a boy, we thought he was a girl, and so we ended up with baby mice, which I called Cinnamon, Sugar and Salt. And from there we ended up with lots of mice, and we had this big shed in the garage and I had lots of cages full of mice, and I was like, I loved them and I'd clean them out and I fed them. Well, I remember cleaning them out and feeding them and looking after them. My parents would probably say that I didn't, because what kid really looks after their pets properly? But yeah, and I'm gonna draw a mouse person now. Yeah, so that was my first pet that I had myself, little Harley and Pepper. And then when we moved back, because we were here in Australia at the time, and then we moved back to England when I was 10 or 11, I think it was 10. And I got a hamster and I named him Bandit, and he's cute too. I love hamsters. I wish they had hamsters down here in Australia, but they don't, and that makes me so sad because I love them. And I had a hamster named Bandit, and I got him a girlfriend that and her name was Helix. I think I called her Helix. So I meant no, that was another boy one. He was like, there's a malt drink in England called Horlicks, and I meant to call him Horlicks because he was the colour of that, but I mixed it up and called him Helix, and I couldn't change it after that because he'd get confused, you know. So I had a hamster called Helix, which my dad used to joke was a mixture of Felix, which is a cat food, and Horlicks, because he was the colour of Horlicks, but he tasted like cat food because he was a hamster. So my dad's mean. He likes to joke about that kind of stuff. I love him. He has a dark sense of humour sometimes, which, you know, I picked up, but we won't go into that. Yeah, so a mouse named Harley and another mouse named Pepper were my first pets, and then I got a hamster when I moved to the UK. My brother had a snake. Her name was Monty, because she was a python, so we named her Monty so she could be the Monty Python. And we had a cat. Her name was Fluffy. She was cute as. And we had 2 dogs, Maltese cross Shih Tzus named Bentley and Winston, and they were adorable. And I think that's all. We caught some frogs too from the local pond. We had some frogs that we'd caught from the outside world. So there's that too. Well, and that's all the questions. So thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for watching me sketch this page of random nonsense. I had fun, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me answer those questions. Thanks for asking them, guys. And I'll see you next week. Oh, and before I go, the winner of the 100 subscriber contest, I only had 2 entries, so I've decided to just give you both a prize because I'm nice that way. So I'll get in contact with you, Skittykins and Neko Mimi girl, I think your name was, and I'll get in contact with you and we will organise your prizes. So thanks for entering, thanks for asking questions. I'll see you all next week for the next video, and have a great one. Bye!